Good morning. This is Winich Taka for the Uganda Youth Collective, empowering Ugandan women. Today is Wednesday, the 1st of November. The 1st of November, we've just started the beginning of the second last month before this year is out. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, gentlemen. You know, I asked myself a question as we get nearer to the end of the year. Those of you that started the year with a plan, with a resolution, with things and goals and objectives that you wanted to achieve, how far have you gone? What have you achieved? I hope that you've gone far in your plans. I hope that you've achieved what you set out to do. But if you are yet to start, you've got 2 months before the year is out. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about today's topic. If it is your first time to subscribe to our channel, I want to welcome you to the Uganda Youth Collective. If you're a lady and it is your first time to join the Empowering Ugandan Women WhatsApp group, I welcome you in a special way and encourage you. Please, when you get here, go ahead and introduce yourself. We want to know, what are your names? We want to know, where do you live? We want to know, what is it that you do? And to just brief you, what is the purpose of the Uganda Youth Collective? What is the purpose for empowering Ugandan women? Our purpose, our goal, and our mission is to help you discover what it is you were created to do, to help you discover your why. Why are you here? Why are you still alive? Why are you the way that you are? Our mission is to help you to discover your purpose. And when you discover that skill, that gift, that talent that you have, it then to help you develop that talent in order to yield an income or multiple streams of income in order to serve the local communities where you are based right now, but also in addition, in order to serve our country and to build our nation, Uganda. Because here at the Uganda Youth Collective, we believe, and I believe, that the nation of Uganda will not be built by those from the outside, but built by the people themselves. Because as a matter of fact, a nation is made up of the people, and therefore if the people are okay, if you build the people, then you build the nation. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in this morning, our topic today is this. I pose a question and I ask the question, what do you see? Our theme today is, what do you see? Let me start off by giving you or narrating a story that I had many times growing up. It is a story that I have taught in Bible studies, a story that I was taught when I was a child in Sunday school, and it is a story of a nation that was chosen to be God's chosen nation. Now, this nation had gone through a lot of turmoil. They were taken into slavery, into captivity, and for many years they worked as slaves for another nation. But a time came when they cried out to God long enough, and they cried, and it said that He heard their cry, and He chose a deliverer to deliver them out of that bondage, out of that slavery, and to lead them into what was called a land that flows with milk and honey. He was to take them out of slavery, to take them out of their bondage, to take them out of their misery, and to lead them to a place where they would be happy. Kind of like where we are in Uganda. Right now, the situation, people are crying, people are in need, mothers are looking for food for their children, people are fleeing to go and work in nations where they want or they would rather not go. Because they are looking, there's a cry right now in the nation of Uganda, not just the nation of Uganda, Africa as a whole, actually even some parts of the, Europe and other parts of the world. People are crying out for some kind of deliverance. However, in this story, in this nation, God's chosen people, He sent them a deliverer. And this deliverer, the story is long, but I will cut to the chase to get to the point that I want to raise this morning. And he led them. And it said that when they had settled in a certain place, the leader or the deliverer said he chose 12 men. And he asked these 12 men to go and spy out the land where they were to go and settle. To go and spy out, or let me paraphrase, to go and check out the new land where they were to go and realize their dreams and live the lifestyle they had dreamed of and have the freedom to do what they wanted and have the freedom for their children to do and succeed in what they wanted to succeed. But before the entire nation was to go, the leader, it is said, chose 12 people to go and check out the land or to go and spy out the land. And it is said of these 12 people that when they got there, it said that when they got there, they saw that the land indeed was amazing. It was beautiful. It was as they had imagined it. Imagine you as an individual. Maybe where you are right now, some of us have dreams. And maybe sometimes when you're daydreaming, or even when you dream, or even when you look at videos on social media, or even when you look in magazines, in movies, in TV series, and you look at the kind of land, you look at the kind of house that you would want to have, you look at the kind of things you would want to have for your children. You dream, you see. Well, these 12 spies went and they looked at the land that they were promised. They looked at the kind of lifestyle that they could have. And it is said that they came back and they said, indeed, or they all agreed, it was amazing. It was as they had been promised. But of the 12 that went, 10 of them came back. That when they saw the beauty of the land, in addition to what they saw, they also saw what they thought or called obstacles. They said, yes, the land was beautiful, but when we saw in the land, we also saw giants in the land. And when we saw the giants in the land, in our own eyes, we seemed as though we were grasshoppers, or we seemed as though we were nobodies. That yes, we agree it was amazing. But based on what we saw, based on how we saw ourselves in comparison to the people that we saw in the land where we want to be, we are nobodies. And we cannot do this. That's what the 10 saw. Remember, today's theme is this. What do you see? These 10 out of the 12 saw the good land, saw the good life, saw what could be had, saw what could be done, but also saw that based on their experience, based on their background, they were not able to have the good that they saw. But it's also written that the 2, Joshua and Caleb, were their names. That when these 12 spies came back to report back to their deliverer or to their leader, the 10 went first and the entire audience was listening. And when they had finished, it is said that the other 2, Joshua and Caleb, silenced the people and began to narrate what they saw. And it is said that these 2 young men, they did not disagree with the report, the bad report that the 10 had seen. They said, yes, indeed, the land was beautiful. And yes, there were obstacles. Yes, there were giants. Yes, we did appear that we cannot do it. However, these 2 said, but we are well able to go and take the land and possess and have what belongs to us. The question today, ladies, is this. What do you see? Many of us, many of you, you want the good life. You want the good relationship. You want the best for your children. We want the best for our nation. We want the best for our leaders. We want a good life. We want what we see. We want the things that we have seen and dreamt of. But amongst the many in this group, and now we are 120 plus in the WhatsApp group, and amongst the many of you that are listening to the sound of my voice this morning, amongst you that are listening to me, there are two groups of people. There's the group that belonged to the 10 spies who saw the good land, but also saw that they were not able to take the land or to possess that which was promised. But also in the group, we also have the others that belong to the group of the 2 men that saw that yes, it was difficult, but they saw that they were well able to possess and take and fulfill that which was promised. And so my question today to you is, what do you see? And you will find in a group of people, you will find in a nation, you will find in a community that the majority of the people will always side with a side that is negative. You will find that the majority of the people will always see things as impossible. And you will find that there's only a small minority that believe that actually it can be done. It is very easy to side with the majority, but I tell you this to you, or I put it to you this way, that just because something is the popular opinion, it does not make it the right opinion. Just because everybody goes with a certain way of doing things, it does not make it the right way. Just because everybody is doing it, just because it is the current trend, just because it is the current fashion, it does not mean it is the right thing. And therefore I warn you or caution you that be careful of following trends that everybody is following. Many times it is not necessarily the right thing. And many times you will find the people that have exceeded, that is why you say it is said that the wealth of the world is obtained or is found with a small percentage of individuals in the world hold almost 90% of the world's wealth is in the hands of almost, I can't remember the exact figures right now, 3% or something like that. It's a small minority that see things differently. A small minority that see things differently and would dare to stand out and speak contrary to what everyone is saying. It's only a small minority that would dare to stand up in a group of 12 and say, actually, we hear what you're saying, but we disagree. Many people want to side with the popular opinion. But my question to you this morning is this: what do you see? When you look at the world, when you look in your future, when you look at your children, when you look at our nation, Uganda, what do you see? Do you see defeat? Do you see success? Do you see things ever getting better? The majority will tell you there's no hope. And because of what they see, it has led many to make their decisions. And it is the result of why you are where you are right now. But there's a minority who believe differently, who see a future for ourselves and for our children and for our nation, a bright future, and are not afraid to say it. Now the question becomes this: why is it that some people can see things as positive, as able, and other people see things, or the majority say it's not possible? When we are born into this world as children, we come as babies. We are born in different parts of the world. And the environments and the parents that nurture us will influence how we see the world. A child that is born in poverty, a child that is born in an area where there are not so many opportunities. This child could be born in the same country, even in the same village. But if the parents of that child are in a situation where they have very little, that child will grow up thinking and knowing they are limited in what they can have or cannot have. Another child could grow up in the same village, but whose parents have a lot more and are exposed to a lot more. Maybe they're able to take them to better schools, get them around people with privileges, maybe even get them outside of the country. Even though those children were born in the same village and they are of the same nationality, those two children will see things differently. One will see things as possible, and the other will see things as with a limitation. And as those children begin to grow and they go into school and they go into university, they go into work, every place, every environment, every person that they meet, every opinion that they hear, every TV program they watch, every social media person that they follow, every book that they read, every movie that they see will begin to shape what will become their opinion of what life is like. It will begin to shape what their philosophies or why they do the things they do. It will begin to form part of their reasoning. Everything that you see and you hear and you read on a daily basis, it is said that is what is downloaded into your subconscious. That is what is downloaded into your minds, into that inner part of yourself that sometimes you do not see. And that becomes the reason why you see things the way you see them. If you have grown up in a background where nothing good ever happened, then for you will see things as impossible. You will see things as can't, or things as limited. But maybe you've grown up, for example, you're Ugandan and you have grown up in a different country, for example, the United Kingdom. You will also see things differently because the country and the schools that you've gone to, they have shown you that you can. Now the question is, what do you see? Is it possible, Winnie, that I have grown up in a place where I have been limited? Is it possible to change how I see things now that I am older? Is it possible for me to become a part of the two or the minority that see things as possible? Is it a part of me now that I am older and I am a female and I am in a place and I am in a job that I hate? Is it possible for me to begin to see things differently? And the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is yes. It is written and it says this, that do not be conformed to the ways of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Many times the reason why people cannot do things is because up here mentally, their minds are yet to be renewed. And as we continue to help you discover your purpose and your reason for being, our job and our passion is to help you renew your mind. Is to help you to be transformed. And how are you going to be transformed? That you begin to see things differently. I'm going to ask you a question. When you wake up in the morning, the 24 hours that you have in the day, how do you spend your 24 hours? What do you spend doing in the 24 hours that you have? Who are your friends? Because it is said the bad company corrupts good character. In Luganda, there's a saying that says, tell me who you hang out with and I'll tell you what you're like. In Luganda, it says, I can't remember the other part. And I'll tell you what you're like. Who do you spend your hours with? Who do you call your friends? What do you listen to when you're working or in your times when you're not working? What do you watch on television? What movies do you see? What books are you reading? What social media sites do you belong to? Groups do you belong to? Who do you follow? What WhatsApp groups are you a part of? Because it is those things, if those things that you are a part of and you're reading and you're listening to, if what comes out of them is negative, is impossible, is dire news, I promise you and I guarantee you, you will see the world in which you live as impossible, as nothing good is ever going to come out of this. But if you want to begin to see things differently, for example, to see things like the two men in the story I have narrated, it is possible and it's never too late. How do you do that? Simple. If you've examined your life today and you realize actually the things I'm watching and I'm listening to and the people I am keeping company with, actually what they're saying is not positive, then all you have to do is change what you're listening to, change what you're reading, change who your friends are, change what you're thinking. How, Winnie, do I change that? Read the positive. Join our WhatsApp group. Because we're not interested in gossip in this WhatsApp group. We're not interested in what cannot be done. But we focus on building and telling you and showing you with inspirational stories of other women like yourself, showing you that it can be done. And the longer you continue listening to the right thing, watching the right thing, that will begin to be downloaded into your subconscious and therefore begin to shape your thinking and your reasoning. As it is written, as a man thinketh, so is he. As you think is how you will do, is how you will react. To give you one last example before I finish. Imagine you are wearing a pair of glasses. If you're wearing sun glasses, dark glasses, when you put those shades on, even though the world around you is sunny and is bright, when you put the shades on, the world appears slightly darker, depending on the kind of shades you're wearing. But when you take off the shades, you begin to see things a lot more clearer. It is the same when I ask you the question, what do you see? Maybe right now you're seeing the world in which you live and you're pairing a certain pair of shades. And what I am asking you today as we comment and we discuss and we focus in the group today, I am asking you and I am daring you and I am challenging you to begin to remove the shades that you're wearing, that you may begin to see the world, that exactly where you are, there are people in the exact place as you who are succeeding, who are making it, who are wealthy, who are happy, in exact place as you are. And to encourage and challenge you that you may not have to leave where you are to obtain the lifestyle and the life that you want. It could be that all that you're required to do exactly where you are before you migrate to a different place. Could it be that all you need to do is stay where you are but remove the shades of ignorance, remove the shades of fear, remove the shades of what people have said, remove the shades of what your parents may have or said or not said. Remove the shades of the negative books you have read. Remove the shades of the opinions of those who do not know who you are. Start to gradually remove those shades and begin to see that right where you are, you can have the lifestyle that you want. Because you have seen it and you have heard it many times. When people have migrated to what they call a better life, or when they've migrated from what they call a third world country and migrated to a first world country. But I put it to you, you can migrate to a first world country, but if you keep the mindset and the mentality and the attitude of a third world country, you will stay in a first world country. But if your mentality is that of a third world country, the results that you will produce will be that of a third world country in a first world country. So therefore, ladies, I challenge you. Don't be in a rush to leave or to move. But rather, as we've got 2 months before the year is out, stop for a minute. Stay where you are. Use what you have and do the best that you can. Begin to remove the shades. Begin to see things differently. How? Change what you're listening to. Change who is speaking to you. Get out of some WhatsApp groups. Get out of some communities. Get out of the majority's way of doing things. And you might be surprised to discover that all that you're looking for, the wealth that you're looking for, was right before you. But because right now you're wearing a pair of glasses, you're being veiled, that you're not seeing what is right in front of you. But if you remove the shades, slowly take your time, you too will begin to see things differently. You begin to see things not like the 10, but like the 2 that saw and said, we are well able to go and possess this land. And therefore, my sisters, my mothers, my brothers, if you're listening, I put it to you this way, as our hashtag is, that Ugandans can, women can, Ugandan women can. We can do everything that everybody else can do. It has been in the past that maybe our thinking and our mentality and our attitude has been veiled by years of depression and oppression and ignorance and not knowing. But the time is now, my brothers and sisters, that we begin right where we are to remove those shades and begin to see things the way they truly are. And begin to see that there is actually no difference between you and the people you admire. There's actually no difference between you and what the world is doing. This is Winnie Taka, empowering Ugandan women. I will see you tomorrow. And if you're somebody that would love to join our WhatsApp group, go ahead and email us at empoweringugandanwomen@gmail.com. That's empoweringugandanwomen@gmail.com. I also invite you to follow us on our various social media groups. Join us on Twitter. Join us on Facebook. Join us on Instagram. You can also follow me, Winnie Taka, on the various social media networks. And before you finish, go ahead and subscribe for daily motivation as we continue. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow as we continue to discover God's purpose for our lives.